Well, I've been cutting apart that cherry for a couple of days, so let me show you what I came up with. You know, when it comes to working with figured cherry, it's really important that you try to accentuate what the material has to offer. And I was talking to about trying to accentuate that darker stuff that was in that top and that piece of wood, but it just didn't work out. So you can probably see that I cut apart a couple of extra boards. See, I got a bunch of scrap. It's because I wanted to get some really nice panels for the doors and the side panels. And that's a 16.5-inch wide board, 3 feet long, I guess. So obviously when I cut it in half, when I resawed it, it was gonna spring, so you can see that I just have like a piece of 1/8 inch in between the boards, and I clamped it down just to try to control a little bit of that stress. It's going into like a groove, so it doesn't have to be super flat. It just has to be flat enough for me to be able to get a nice, tenon on it. You know what I'm saying? On the table saw. And over here, I resawed a bunch of drawer fronts. So I feel like I was able to accentuate a lot of that quarter sawn. That's what all this stuff is right here. That's all basically quarter sawn on the edge of the board, right? See what I mean? See how the grain's kind of going out of 45? Rift really, but you can see that it has really great grain. Now if I go around the other side of this board, you'll see what happens. You see how it changes completely? There's way more figure from this angle. So, that's the stuff that I really tried to control, right? And when it came to doing the posts, right? Check it out. So I got a big fat piece of 12/4. It was like 12 inches wide, 8 feet long. This is the flat sawn. This is the quarter sawn, right? And you can see that there's a big difference. Like my other video, that's quarter sawn. That way would be flat sawn, okay? And I was looking at all these boards, and I really think that the quarter sawn lends itself to be the focal point of this piece. So now you can see that I have these things indicated left and right. I want to show you something funny. Not funny, but just something to be aware of. If I take this board and I just turn it around, you see what happened? I know a lot of you guys are probably gonna think that I just spun it around, but look, I didn't. See, it says front on the bottom right there? So this is what we try to control, is how light interacts with our material and how to incorporate all this stuff into our final design. Okay? You see what's going on? See the grain direction going this ways, right? And that's how I can control what this overall piece is gonna look like. So going from this little tiny sketch into buying material, right, to creating parts is what I really try to excel at. Now you can probably see that I have another few pieces kicking around. Unfortunately, sorry, I'm walking around. There was some sapwood on the post that I tried to get away with. I was trying to hide this in the back, right? But it didn't work out. So since this board was wide, you can see that on this side over here, it's basically, see the grain direction? These were cut sequentially, so I can control the side of this piece as well. And this is the side of the dresser that you're gonna see as soon as you walk into the room. So this side needs to be really nice. So I was hoping to get away with that piece over there, but I wasn't able to. So I just cut up another piece here. And what I need to do, even though this is a beautiful side and it looks great, I'm trying to figure out what side of this is gonna go with the side of this piece. So thankfully you can see that I have a lot of wide grain on this one here, on the side. So I'm gonna be able to use either this side, which I don't think, but maybe this side down here. But I need to let this thing acclimate a little bit so I can let it move around so I can mill it without it moving around. The last piece I want to show you quickly is the bottom. Now this thing, it's going to basically be this big, right? Hopefully this stuff won't fall over. I know, listen, I know I have crappy videos, but you know, the information is great. So if you pay attention, you're going to learn some crap, all right? So that's how big it is basically, almost 6 feet. Now I want the bottom of this thing to look great too. So it's always one of those things you have to pay attention to, all right? Because you see how beautiful this looks in this direction, this orientation, right? If I spin it around, it seems to be really great in this orientation, but this is how you're gonna see it. That'll be buried by the doors and drawers. So this is the side that you're gonna see, this right here. And it's not that the light's dull on this side, it's that the grain kind of ran off. So this is what I'm going with. I mean, you can obviously see the curl. And that's going to make for a really beautiful bottom piece. And you're probably asking yourself why this is so heavy. It's because I want this frame to be able to carry a set of 30-inch drawers in the middle, as well as, you know, the doors in the top. So it's taken me an awful long time. Not really. It just takes a lot of insight. Like I said, since I've been doing it for a really long time, I kind of know what I'm doing at this point when it comes to getting the material. Here's the piece that I chose for the top. And I love it. I'm not excited about the sapwood on the ends. I was hoping that it was going to be a little bit wider, but what are you going to do? It's like 19, and that's fine with me. Oops, sorry. So look, when it comes to doing furniture making and building, when it comes to woodworking and building furniture, it's just not about joinery and the design of the piece that you're trying to build. It's really all about how you can incorporate the beauty of the natural material that we choose to use. This is our medium. This is what I build out of, you know? And I always say, do you think like Michelangelo was worried about all like the scrap marble that he was going to be, you know, wasting away when he was, you know, carving out David or whatever? He wasn't. So when it comes to this material, even though that's like $2,000 sitting over there in material, and I have a lot of like stuff that's left over, I can build stools and whatnot out of that stuff. But ultimately, the piece that I'm working on is what I care about most. And this is it right here. So from this crappy drawing to those rough boards to what's going to be a really beautiful piece of furniture, takes a lot of effort and a lot of paying attention. So just make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing and you mark things appropriately throughout the entire process of the build until you start turning all these pieces into parts and then ultimately your project. See ya.